In Don't Believe the Hype News.
Don't do it.
Hype beast.
Submitted by I Farted.
Oh God, we're gonna die.
Please, no.
Psychologists want you to know that the Myers-Briggs personality test
It's bullshit.
is bullshit.
Yeah.
You read it.
Is that like the ENTJIN or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What
You
is
didn't know
it?
what that was?
Oh, I thought that was the one where you come in a napkin. What do you see?
Oh yeah.
Rorschach.
Rorschach, okay.
I thought it was the.
That's a fortune teller.
That'd be dope if you go to a psychologist's office and they're like, all right, hold on. You know, they're like, okay, what's your number? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, open it up. Okay, do you like blue? All right.
BLUE.
Me too.
All the girls used to make that.
What was the other one?
Cash or Shack or some shit.
Yeah. That one.
That one was fun.
I think there's one that was like MASH too.
Oh, MASH.
That one.
Fucking love that shit.
You know what I always felt left out on? You know when girls do the fucking.
Oh, the
Chinese jump rope or whatever?
No, Chinese jump rope is the other one.
Cradle, right? Chinese
Yeah,
cradle?
they do that and then the girl
Cat's
takes
cradle.
the thing and then does another thing and gives it back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, spider webs?
I could only do the first 2 moves and then I was like, now what?
Yeah, I never got how
This
they-
fool said spider webs.
You would see girls go like,
And then they'll pinch it a certain way and then they get it.
just let me try that shit.
You know, as
And then I'm
an
like,
adult, I've been trying to find the colorful rope, the Chinese jump rope thing. I've been wanting it.
Wait, Chinese jump rope is the one where you wear it in your ankles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Dude, I was a fucking master at that shit.
Oh yeah, your long legs.
What
I would
you
do it from
jump
my
in,
neck
or-
too, but I would have to jump.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
What? That one's fun.
It's like, yeah, there's 2 people standing and then there's like a, looks like a rubber band.
Oh, and then you loop it in your legs?
Yeah.
Can we play that on Dicky Party?
We should play the old elementary school game.
Yeah.
You should just fucking sit there with the little thing that you make. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And watch that be our most popular video ever.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
What about the Chinese finger trap?
That's
Oh
just
my
for
God.
dumbos.
That shit never got me. I was just like, okay.
I was dumb because I didn't know. I'm like, how the fuck? When I was really little.
And the more you
Little,
struggle,
little.
you get stuck. I never got stuck before.
Okay, so anyways, it's Myers-Briggs. So if you guys don't know what it is, it's an introspective, self-reported questionnaire designed to indicate how people perceive the world based on a spectrum which involves 16 personality types. So it was first published in 1943 by Catherine Briggs and her daughter Isabel Myers.
You did say Myers-Briggs.
I know, I'm dumb. Myers. Okay, so they were not psychologists, but they did study the works of Carl Jung, who... Jung, thank you.
I know it is spelled with the J though.
So Carl Jung, he was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst.
I think he was the father of cognitive behavioral theory.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know what that means. They're saying that some psychologists, they don't really value Carl's research because he wasn't actually a researcher.
He just made up shit.
His theory should not be considered solid, is what they're saying.
He was like, okay. And then that's how he came up with his ideas.
Probably, yeah, because he didn't...
So many people right now. Because it's like in psychology, there's different schools of thought. So people either use his technique and cognitive theory or they... Freud's outdated, but he's very popular. Where he believes that everyone's trying to fuck
Their mama and their papa.
Yeah, but and then there's just all these different, I guess, thoughts of psychology and different methods, and they all kind of clash. It's very interesting. It doesn't really fall under one thing. Yeah, like you have hardcore, more on the neuroscience, just straight up math and science kind of guys that just believe everything is
The
hard
epicanthal
science.
and the this and the that, right?
The epicantha?
I mean the fucking...
Super hard science, and then there's the other side of psychology that's kind of like witchcraft. Like it's I mean it's beyond psychology. It's just like
I thought he was gonna say
like
Beyonce.
it's like alternative medicine and shit. Like it's not even science anymore, you know, it's just like magic. I think the feelings, it's like some hippie shit, you know?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's really weird.
You're depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're saying that this Myers-Briggs test was designed to categorize people with questions based on Jung's interpretation of the 4 core psychological functions, which is extroversion versus introversion, intuitive versus sensing, feeling versus thinking, and judging versus perceiving. And so after you complete this questionnaire, then you get a 4-letter barcode, like for example, INFJ, and then it corresponds to which category you fall into. So that's how the test works. So now they're saying that this test has evolved into common pop psychology, and so some businesses even use this test to determine hiring decisions, and there are academic papers published evaluating the correlation between this test and employment satisfaction. And then there's a ton of personality type meetups on the internet, and so it's a common thing.
And all of this is leading up to a big but.
But it's like a bullshit.
But psychologists want you to know that they believe this test is no more predictive than a Chinese fortune cookie. That there is no evidence behind the test and it carries no predictive power whatsoever. And there is no obvious evidence that there are 16 unique categories in which people can be placed.
Yeah, there's way more than that. And I think it's like horoscopes.
Exactly, they're comparing it to horoscopes.
Like, ooh, I'm an Aries, so you know, I'm a fire sign, and I'm fiery and hot. Come on, man, you telling me everybody in my month has a fucking hot temper?
Yeah.
That's not true. I got a fucking temper. She doesn't.
No,
so,
but we're Aries.
But we're both Aries.
So psychologists call this the Barnum effect. So the Barnum effect says that if you write something that's so general, it can apply to anyone, and they all sound right, and they're all so positive and kind of generic, and so people just go like, oh my god, this is a miracle, this is me, like this is totally applies to me.
And it's always like a this or that, like it's like, do you like to stay at home or do you like to go outside? And it's like, the fuck, dude.
I like to do both of them.
Do you like big crowds or do you like small crowds, you know?
Yeah.
Or like no crowds?
That's like the main complaint.
I take it with a grain of salt, man. You can't let categories identify who you are. But humans are like sponges too. If you tell someone that they are something,
They believe it.
They become that.
Yeah.
If a human being agrees with what you tell them. So some people, they're very weak to negative thinking, because if you're constantly surrounded by negative thinking and their mind tends to agree with everything they hear, and if they don't have a strong sense of self, then they start believing those negative thoughts. But it all comes from being a child, and you know your parents is saying, you know, you don't know how to dance or something. Like maybe one day you're dancing too much and your parents are annoyed because they are stressed out from work and they say some shitty shit like you don't know how to dance, stop dancing, right? And then from that day on you believe you can't dance anymore. And you're now a 40-year-old woman that's shy. She doesn't want to dance like when everyone's dancing at the wedding or whatever. That's how personalities are really developed, is like we soak up what people say to us and we agree or disagree with that. And so these characteristics, like some people might read that and go, oh yeah, you know what? I do like parties. Because all they're thinking about is like, I've been to that party the other day, I had a great experience. Maybe I'm an extrovert. But in reality, they're shy people. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Is there anything that you feel like can really, like a test of some sort? There is none, right? It's all like
I think there's
horoscope
too many unique experiences. Like for example, like if two people get the same 4 letters and one person has been raped before, you're gonna say that this person's personality is like exactly the same as this person. You know, like I think people are made up of all the experiences that they've been through, and each person has very, very unique experiences that make up who they are. And I think it's just it's impossible to generalize the entire world into 16 categories.
And what is the real point of knowing these things?
I think a lot of people, they need to find their identity.
Oh.
So I think people are just searching for that. So some people, they're like, whether they go through horoscopes or they go through this or they go through that, they just want to figure out like, oh, this is who I am, and really, and it's just easier to just grasp something that's general, really, rather than really trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, I think people always need to know. I mean, I think we're all like that. We just need to know, and that's how ego's built and all that stuff. But I think what I personally think is that people are very fluid. Like, you're not the same person you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You might be a party animal in high school and love to be out all the time, but when you're 30, you might want to be home all day and not want to go out anymore and be a little bit more shy. Like, I think there's no, like, one thing. You know what I mean? Like, But certain things I think I do like about how they explain extrovert and introvert, like how extroverts go out and you get energy from other people's energy. Introverts are kind of overwhelmed with too much people's energy. And then it's just, I know that this exists, but without anything really identifying and backing that kind of research, I think it could be like horoscopes where people just, they rely on it so much that they lose confidence in their own thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, by taking this 16 personality test, do you guys think you would have a better understanding of how to communicate to that person?
Maybe. I mean, I guess anything helps, but yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know how every person is gonna deal with the results. You know, so recently I did a 23andMe, right?
Yeah.
And there's this section of muscle fibers. So there's 3 different muscle groups. 2 is a fast twitch muscle, and 1 is a slow twitch muscle. And the way that it's written on 23andMe, it says power athletes. You are unlikely to be a power athlete, and they describe it, right? But if I wasn't informed about just the way the physio, like body work, I would assume that, oh, that means I'm unathletic, but because I don't have the muscle fiber. But they also did explain that, you know, someone could have the gene for the power athlete gene, but this person could be 5 feet with short legs. You know what I mean? So there's so many variables, but a lot of people, they take these things and then they soak it in, and then it becomes who they are, and then there's no real sense and confidence of like who I am. You know, people could change whatever they are. That's what I believe.
True.
Yeah, these are like people that need life coaches. All I need is a fortune cookie and I'm good.
Hey guys, if you guys didn't know, we have a social media account on Instagram called JK Film, so you guys should better follow it because we post up clips, pictures, we got some Insta stories going on, so go ahead and follow it right now. For the next video, click up here.